To start from an experimental phase and then run it through both the core of design development and also the rational process of design research, that's something that Stuck brings to the table.
Welcome to Stuck in Design, where our founders share candid conversations about design, creativity, and business. Let's begin.
Since we're on this whole different design consultants and consultancies, right? What do you think makes Stuck a good consultancy, or what factors does Stuck have that will make Stuck a good match to a specific type of client?
Sounds like a sales pitch. Okay. Okay. Let me see. So to try and not sound so sales pitchy, I think there's a few things which Stuck as a company are really interested in doing. How we evaluate projects that we take on also hinges on some of these qualities that we're working with, right? And one of those is the ability to integrate the different disciplines or the different teams that Stuck has built up over the years, to be able to find projects that integrate this mix of disciplines to deliver really interesting outcomes. And that's something where it's difficult for companies to maintain a mix of these kind of people. And fundamentally, I think it goes back to the people that you work with, right? If it is really difficult to keep kind of this diverse mix of disciplines, of creative technologists, of copywriters, videographers, industrial designers, production managers, interaction designers. So it's a lot to both build internally and also to integrate well. Those are the projects where it's clear to say, hey, this is something that's really hard for you to do in-house because it's just hard to keep a team like that alive. If we have a team like this and we can think about a project for you in these ways, that's, I think, one of the key values that makes work interesting for us and is also valuable to the client. So that's, I think that's one of the key things. The other part of what makes us maybe interesting for people to work with is that because of this diversity of teams, we can approach projects from different ways. So you have projects which are, I guess, really popular, the human-centered design projects, where it's research first, research-led, and then looking at outcomes from that. That covers quite a big spectrum or category of work that we do. And on the other hand, there are projects which are led purely by design outcomes first, and then after that, using research to validate. So that's the other approach, and the team is able to work across these two spectrums. And the third spectrum, which is also really interesting, is the team is able to lead by experiments first. So that's something which is a little bit different, and it's also working with a certain level of risk, because you're looking at, okay, if I really want to push the boundaries, I really want to do something innovative, sometimes all the research that I can do will lead me to a certain point, right? Between that point, there needs to be a leap, either a creative leap or a kind of business leap, to say, hey, if we tried thinking about it differently or approached from it differently, this would be the opportunities or the challenges that we face. And to start from an experimental phase and then run it through both the kind of the core of design development and also the rational process of design research, that's something that Stuck brings to the table.
Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week to get stuck in design.